I wake up every day at 5 a.m. I prefer to get started while others are asleep, and I start my morning routine, which includes an hour of gratitude journaling, 1 hour of meditation, and going for a 5-mile run.
Yeah, no, I can't do this anymore.
No, sadly, I don't do any of that. I don't wake up at 5 a.m. I don't even wake up at 6 a.m. I usually wake up at around 7:30 in the morning. I go to the bathroom, I splash some water on my face, and I brush my teeth. And after that, I check my phone to see if something's blown up overnight on one of the deals I'm working on. And this can sometimes happen if you're working with different countries in different time zones. Then I get dressed, and what I wear usually depends on what I've got going on that day. So if you've got client meetings, I might dress a bit more formally, but today I'm dressing pretty casually. So I'm wearing a plain t-shirt and my trusty quarter zip. Then I say bye to my girlfriend and I start on my walk towards the office. I live in central London, so it takes around 20 minutes to walk to the office, which I love. Once I'm at the office, I dump my stuff at my desk at around just before 9, and then I head down to the canteen to get some breakfast. Today I went for my usual, which is a bowl of yogurt with some fruit and some granola. Then I get back to my desk for around 9 a.m. to get on with some work. I work in corporate law, so most of what I do is working on M&A deals. And this stands for mergers and acquisitions, and us as lawyers get involved when there's a company being sold or being bought. I also do a lot of VC work, and that stands for venture capital. This is a really cool area where investors put money into early stage companies and hope to be investing in the next big thing. Today, I ended up working on a few different things. First, I run through my emails quickly to filter out what's relevant to me and I have to act on, and what's not really relevant to me. Then I spend a couple hours drafting the ancillary documents, so not the main fundraising documents, on a big VC deal that I'm helping with. I'm a junior in the team, so on smaller deals sometimes I'm given the chance to draft the entire set of investment documents, but on the bigger deals, usually a senior will draft the investment documents, and me as a junior, I'll help out with the ancillary documents, which are anything except for the main documents. Ancillary documents are things like board minutes, written resolutions of the shareholders, any consents or some filings that you have to do at company's house. That's the sort of thing that I was helping with. After that, I head down to lunch at around 1 p.m. I went for the healthy option, which is a salad, and usually I just get pretty much everything that's on offer there. After lunch, I head back to my desk. And here's where I get started on my second big task of the day, and that is amending a company's Articles of Association. Articles of Association is the rules of a company that sets out how that company is run. And in this case, the company wanted to change their articles to deal with the instance if one of the shareholders died, and they had this kind of complex way of valuing the shares and dividing them up and deciding who those shares go to. So that's what I was doing here. I made some suggested changes to their existing articles to basically give effect to what it is that they were trying to do. Once I finish with this, I'll send it to a partner to review and set out an email with some questions I had on things that I was a bit unsure of. Later in the day, usually this happens around 4 or 5 p.m, I flip my desk into standing mode because it just helps me focus a bit more. I'm covering a friend of mine on an M&A deal while they're on holiday. And in this deal, we're representing the buyer in this transaction. We've been asked to run the due diligence process for the proposed purchase of this international company. And that basically means that we need to review the company, the target that they're looking to buy, and basically check that everything's okay with that company and there aren't any massive red flags that our client, the buyer or the proposed buyer, should be aware of before they actually complete the deal and buy this company. Because that target was an international company, we had some of our clients in our French office and German office also reviewing the French and German documents. So I saw some emails coming in from those guys which raised some points that they thought might be worth mentioning to the client. So I looked through their emails and put their points into our final report, which is the thing that will ultimately go to the client in the end. Now I try to leave the office usually at around 7 or 8 p.m, even if I've still got a lot of stuff to do. Because I live quite close, it's easy for me to go home and then pick up again from home if there are things I need to finish off. I just prefer doing that than staying late in the office because it's just kind of depressing to be there really late. Corporate law in general is a job where it's not unusual to be working late hours, even past midnight. I've had to deal with working late hours on consecutive days, and that's not something that's unique to me, that's just part of the job. The reason I'm mentioning that is because I think it's important to speak openly about that side of the job. If you're looking from the outside and you're interested in getting into corporate law, you should have a realistic picture of what it's like. So on this day I was quite busy, so I planned to go home and pick up my work again from home later that night. Once I got home, I went straight to the gym for around 45 minutes. Today at the gym I was trying to improve my muscle up, which is my new kind of fitness goal that I've set for myself, and I also did some interval training on the treadmill, which absolutely killed me. Then I came home, took a quick shower and had dinner with my girlfriend. After that, I jumped back on my laptop to work on another M&A deal that I'm on, and this time I was representing the seller. Honestly, when I'm working on a lot of deals at the same time, it sometimes does get a bit confusing to remember if I'm buy side or sell side, because you could be doing two deals at the same time or even more. And on one you're on the buy side, on two you're on the sell side, and it gets confusing to remember which one's which. On this deal, I'm helping the seller with the disclosure process. This is where the seller basically flags all the issues that they know to exist with the company that they're selling. And once they make the buyer aware of those issues, they can't be sued for hiding them down the line. It's a really time-consuming job because you have to think about every element of their business, and it's definitely one you want to get right, because if you do this right, you get a better protection for your seller, our client. We'd had a call with the seller just the day before, and they raised some points that they thought might be issues worth flagging. So I wanted to get started on this disclosure process pretty quickly while all the information from the call was still fresh in my head. I spent like a couple of hours on this, just tidying up my notes on the call and being aware of all the issues that we discussed, but I left the rest of it to pick up the next morning. At this point, at around 10:30 p.m, I'm kind of done with work and there's nothing urgent for me to pick up today. I then just watched some TV. And right now I'm watching The Morning Show, which I'm absolutely loving. Then after that, I jumped on my personal laptop and worked on one of my own projects that I was working on. It's usually either a YouTube script or I'm running through my own emails. On this day, I was working on writing some content for the next LITTLELAW newsletter that was coming up that week. Then I get ready for bed and I read a book for a little bit until I get sleepy. And usually I get super sleepy after like 2 pages. And I think that's why I never end up finishing any books. I'm currently reading a book called The Comfort Crisis by this guy called Michael Easter. And that's it. That's what a day in my life working as a corporate lawyer looks like. Now, not all days are like this. You'll get some days that are quieter and you'll get some days that are much, much busier and you won't be able to get around to all the things that you've planned. But I hope this has helped you get an insight into what working as a corporate lawyer actually looks like, especially the junior role like mine. I've not really done a video like this before, so let me know what you think by leaving a comment or a thumbs up below. And if you hated the video, you can leave a mean comment and put a thumbs down. For all you aspiring lawyers, I run a commercial awareness newsletter called LITTLELAW, and you can sign up for this using the link under this video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope it helped you out, and I'll catch you next time.